before. Then I woke up. In my dreams I also saw 7 heads of grain, full and good, growing on a single stalk. After them 7 other heads sprouted, withered, and thin and scorched by the east wind. The thin heads of grain swallowed up the 7 good heads. I told this to the magicians, but none could explain it to me. Then Joseph said to Pharaoh, "The dreams of Pharaoh are one and the same. God has revealed to Pharaoh what he is about to do. The 7 good cows are 7 years. The 7 good heads of grain are 7 years. It is one and the same dream. The 7 lean, ugly cows that come up afterward are 7 years. And so are the 7 worthless heads of grain, scorched by the east wind. They are 7 years of famine." It is just as I said to Pharaoh. God has shown Pharaoh what he is about to do. 7 years of great abundance are coming throughout the land of Egypt. Then all the abundance in Egypt will be forgotten, and the famine will ravage the land. The abundance in the land will not be remembered, because the famine that follows it will be so severe. The reason the dream was given to Pharaoh in 2 forms is that the matter has been firmly decided by God, and God will do it soon. God will do it soon. Do you see what Joseph did here? He gave him an explanation, didn't he? To the most powerful man in the entire area. And he even said God, the God of his father, would show compassion and allow him to interpret this dream for him. Did Joseph take credit for any of this? Not one bit. Did Joseph say, "You know, Pharaoh, I was imprisoned falsely. I'll interpret your dream if you sign my release"? Did he bargain with him on that? No. Did he say, "If I do this for you, what are you going to do for me"? No. He simply said, "I can't do it, but my God can. He will have compassion on your soul tonight and will interpret this dream." How many times do we do that? I believe that what we sow comes back to us. I believe that. If I do good things, sooner or later, good things will happen. Now let me tell you a story. I was on my way to church one Sunday, and a lady was broke down side the road, had a flat tire. I walked up to the car, she rolled the windows up and locked the doors. I said, "Ma'am, you have a flat tire?" And she shook her head yes. And boom, she hit the button and her trunk lid popped up. So I changed her tire for her. She never got out of the car. She never said thank you. I was going to Bowling Green for a meeting. Guess who had a flat tire? And my truck is sitting on the edge of a hill. Debbie's coming a ways behind me. I call her on the phone. I said, go home. There's a floor jack. I know this is going to be a terrible mess. I'll call where we're headed and let them know we're probably not going to make it. And who pulls in right behind me? You got a flat tire? Can I help? Took care of it. Got the truck up, got it all leveled for me. He says, oh, you're dressed too nice to be down here. Let me help you with this. You see? Andy was a little boy. We were going to Bryan. And he looked over at my gas gauge. I was living in Stryker at the time. And he said, Dad, he's about 7. Dad, that's on E. I said, yeah, but I got enough to get there. Well, I got about as far as Schaefer's restaurant. And it started spitting and sputtering and sputtering and spitting. And I pulled in. I think there was a flower shop right there at the time. Pulled up in there. Guess what? Guy come by. You out of gas? Yeah. Geez. I just got gas for my mower. Here, let me help you out. Put gas in my car and went on my way. A few weeks ago, we're coming back one Saturday night. There's a car sitting right on the edge of 34. I said, you out of gas? Yeah. Well, I got some here in the garage. And he went on his way. You see, things happen in our lives that mean things. God just don't let us walk through this stuff to walk through it. He wants us to understand what's happening and then return the favor when a fellow person is down and out. I never knew that lady's name that had the flat tire. I may never ever see her again. But she was pregnant, she was alone, and she probably didn't want a guy getting... I don't blame her this day and age. And the fact of the matter is the tires still need change, didn't it? Same as me. When I needed somebody was there. God rewards us for being faithful, for being fruitful. We talked this morning about planting seeds. What kind of seeds are we planting? Helpful or hurtful? Let's look a little further here. Genesis chapter 41, verses 33 through 40. And now let Pharaoh look for a discerning and wise man to put in charge of the land of Egypt. Let Pharaoh appoint commissioners over the land to take 1/5 of the harvest of Egypt during the 7 years of abundance. They should collect all the food of these good years that are coming and store it up, the grain, under the authority of Pharaoh, to be kept in the cities for food. This food should be held in reserve for the country, to be used during the 7 years of famine that will come upon Egypt, so that the country may not be ruined by the famine. The plan seemed good to Pharaoh and to all his officials. So Pharaoh asked them, can we find anyone like this man, one in whom is the Spirit of God? Then Pharaoh said to Joseph, since God has made all this known to you, there is no one so discerning and wise as you. You shall be in charge of my palace, and all my people are to submit to your orders. Only with respect to the throne will I be greater than you. Wow. Only to the respect of my throne shall I be greater than you. I asked you a question. If President Obama sent a car to have you come share with him and his officials your plan, and they bought it, oh, that's wonderful. And you gave all the credit to God. And they formed a special job for you to maintain and oversee all this stuff. And then he said, with the respect to this office, you shall be greater than I. Wow. What would you do? How would you handle that? Well, I think, guys, our House and Senate and presidents have far too much pride to ever let that happen. I believe the answers to solve our nation's problems are in everyday folks like you and me. But they're too proud to listen to it. I believe that. We once had a House of Representatives in a town hall meeting. I asked a question, and he said to me, if you have to ask that question, you're not smart enough to deserve an answer. Now, he don't get my vote, okay? I'm not going to tell you who it is, but he don't get my vote. Ouch. The answers to our life's problems, we have. Every one of us have. It's called a Bible. The Bible talks about financial problems and shows us a way to solve them. The Bible talks about patience, talks about long-suffering, talks about love, talks about the Holy Spirit's gifting that is available to each and every one of us. Talks about plans and conditions. But every one of those plans start in one place, with the knowledge and acceptance of God and His Son, Jesus Christ. Every one of them. Every plan is totally conditional upon our relationship with Him. Moses never got to see the promised land. Did that mean it didn't exist? No. But our relationship with Him is most important. Joseph knew this. Joseph understood this. A shepherd boy thrown in a dungeon, sold as a slave, put in charge of his master's house, to be thrown into prison, to be raised up, to be knocked back down and forgotten, to come before the King of the whole land, and to be raised up greater than himself. What a story. You suppose God allows those trials and conditions to season us, to temper us, to where we understand more? The doctor came in today and told Debbie, we're going to process your paperwork. I said to the nurse, how long will this take? They said about an hour. I said, great, I'll run to Walmart and get the prescriptions. When I got back, the room was full of people, and she hadn't even got dressed yet. I said, honey, I want to go. Aren't you wanting to leave? The nurse says, well, she's paid up till midnight. I said, wonderful. I said, I'll tell you what, I'm going to go home and get a nap. And after church, I'll be back to get you. Probably wasn't good on Dan's part.